If you're manual sourcing all of these website sales with Valentine's Day and President's Day and you're not finding any products, it's probably because you're not quite ready for manual sourcing yet. You're probably looking at a bunch of products that aren't even listed on Amazon, or their rank is so bad it's wasting your time even looking at those products. If that's the case, you need to be mastering storefront stalking and reverse sourcing before you switch to manual sourcing. At least with storefront stalking, you're looking at all products that are currently listed on Amazon, and you can filter through products that are selling faster than others while storefront stalking, and it's going to increase your efficiency and also help you get through more quality products quicker. How's it going? My name's Alex with AC Flips. I'm a full-time six-figure Amazon seller. In today's video, I'm going to be reverse sourcing for you live so you can see the exact methods that I use to help me find profitable leads and look through all of these products as quick as possible. Let's jump on Amazon to get started. All right, so getting started, finding that first product is actually a lot easier than a lot of you may think. I'm sure a lot of you are putting so much thought into where do we start? Which brand should we look for to even find those storefronts that are worth looking at? It's as simple as looking around the room that you're in, finding a brand that you see and type that into Amazon. All right, so looking around my room, I found an Instax disposable camera on the side here. So I'm gonna type that in, and it's going to bring us some search results. Ideally, we're looking for products that have a little bit higher buy box. We don't want the price to be too low because we could run into, products that are only available through wholesale purchasing, and we want to avoid those listings. Obviously, those storefronts aren't going to help us very much. So sells fairly quickly, has a high buy box, and has more than one seller, right? That's what we're looking for here. And maybe if Amazon's on it, not the end of the world. Ideally, we're finding products that Amazon is not on as well. So we're just going to have to do some scrolling here to determine. This one right here could be good for us, right? $78 buy box, pretty solid. Amazon's on the listing, but there's also FBA sellers. So that's a good sign here. Same thing with this one. And these products sell pretty quickly. So we're actually just going to take a look at this product here. We could open up the Seller Amp extension here, but I'm going to open the Amazon page because we want to see if the product is worth looking at, if the sellers on this listing are actually worth looking at. Otherwise, we're going to keep moving on. So I'm going to open this in a new tab. Always do that. It's very easy. It's like one extra click, but then you keep your main search open. So if we want to get back to it, we don't have to click the back button a bunch of times to maybe find some other ones. So if you scroll down a little further, right, we see this product where Amazon is not on. It still sells pretty quickly, and there's 4 FBA sellers. So again, if we don't like this listing here to start with, we can always keep moving and look at some of the other ones. So we're going to scroll down to the Keep a Chart here, take a look. It looks like I just want to see, is Amazon dominating the buy box? So only 50% of the time they're taking the buy box, and it doesn't look like that's because they're out of stock. Maybe a little bit because they're out of stock, but it does look like they're sharing the buy box quite a bit throughout. So that's a good sign. So if we are looking at the storefronts selling this product, maybe they found this on a Christmas deal, and that's kind of what we're seeing sales through January. But doesn't hurt to look at some of these storefronts because chances are they're going to have other, Fujifilm products, or maybe even just office supply products. And maybe that's the category we're focused on today. So I'm going to avoid the FBM storefronts only because, there's a chance that those storefronts have more FBM products or products they bought specifically to merchant fulfill. And I would rather send stuff FBA, just more efficient with my time. So I'm going to look at these storefronts down here. And the ones that have super high review counts, 26,000, I'm going to avoid those storefronts. Those are probably wholesale or private label. Maybe they found this or they're selling this wholesale, right? So, and if we find that all of the storefronts here have those high counts, then maybe we skip this product altogether, move on to a different one. So not everybody, we have this storefront here, only 53 reviews. That's perfect. They've probably been selling on Amazon for a year or two. Hopefully they have a decent amount of products on their storefront. And it looks like, they do have some Fujifilm, Eaton. So there's kind of an assortment of different brands here. So that's a good sign for us. We can sort by brand, but they don't have a ton of products. So I feel like we can get through their entire storefront pretty quickly, or we need to make the decision. Maybe their storefront isn't one that's worth looking at after the first few products we just noticed. Maybe they're not good at sourcing. Maybe, they're finding everything that Amazon's on, and that's just not what we're looking for. So we can always move on quickly, right? We want to make those decisions pretty quickly because we just don't want to get stuck on something and then waste time and realize, we just wasted a bunch of time looking at 5 products when we could have been on a new storefront looking at better products. So I'm just going to scroll down here. We can see that Amazon is on this clay white color, but the mint green, they're not. The buy box is 78. Oh, maybe they are a little bit on, but it's basically a $49, $50 max cost, which is pretty high. So, if we can find this on sale, that's really the only way. And I'm not going to waste time looking at this listing because it's probably of the same variation. It sells pretty quickly, a 2K rank. And I just want to see, are these products even on sale? Is it worth looking into? Because if they're selling for $80 on Target or Walmart or wherever they're selling for, why look into this further? We could spend 4 or 5 minutes, researching the chart and looking at the offer counts and looking at sales history, all for nothing, right? Like, we just want to make sure, like, is this even close to the price range we think? And if it is, then we can maybe do a little bit further analysis to see if it's worth looking into. Otherwise, we're just going to keep moving on to the next product because we don't want to waste time. So I'm going to click that Google button. It's actually going to open it in Google. You can see right here, $79.99 on Best Buy. Maybe this was 50% off at one point. Maybe Kohl's ran 50% off. Again, if we're not seeing it even remotely close to the price we need to purchase this for, then it's not worth looking at, right? We could do all the analysis we want. Oh, wow, this is a great product right here. See, but the max cost we see over the last 3 months is $80, right? Right around that range. So, I mean, if we're buying it for 79, it's basically selling for what we are purchasing it for. So this is not going to be a good product. And it looks like all the variations are very similar, right? If I had to open this listing, obviously I'm talking about this product a lot more than I probably would, if I'm just sourcing on my own. But $78, $76, all the variations are probably very similar. And if, the off chance that one of the colors is selling at like $140, right? There's only a couple sellers on the listing. Chances are low. So I'm okay with skipping that type of product if it means being more efficient. So obviously these two, are similar products. We're not going to get them we're buying them for 78. We can't get them for under $50. So we're just going to keep moving on here. Again, this product, Amazon's on the listing 100% of the time. Not sure if they share the buy box as much on this one, but again, I don't really love when Amazon is on the listing. I know there's 38 other offers. For me, it's just a product that I'm going to skip. If we really wanted to look at it, right? Again, we just quickly search Google. Can we even get it for $60? Doesn't look like it's on sale right now. So we're going to move on. We'll keep scrolling here. So the nice thing about these listings is they're very consistent. We don't see a lot of price movement, but also Amazon is maybe dictating some of the price there. This one's selling for like $100. 64 max cost. Again, not super optimistic about this product because we don't see any Fujifilm sales happening right now. But if we just wanted to do a quick Google search, we can see that, it's basically selling for full price. We're not getting it for a discount on any of these websites. So it's not worth doing the analysis on the chart if we're just going to waste time not being able to find it, right? And that's how we can be more efficient while reverse sourcing and storefront stocking, because there's so much data in front of you. But if you know what to look for and know how to get through these listings as quick as possible, then you can get through a ton more products in your sourcing session. If you're sourcing 1 to 2 hours every day, you want to be getting through, 200 to 500 products and then maybe finding 5 leads that you can purchase instead of getting through 50 products. And maybe you find one, maybe you find none. Then you get discouraged and then you're like, why can't I find things? And then, you are unmotivated to find leads and run this business. So we want to make sure that you are as efficient as possible so you can find leads and grow this business. All right, so that's like the end of Fujifilm. Because I didn't click and highlight a specific brand, it's going to just keep running through all of the products in their storefront. So if we wanted to, we could go down the list here. Again, I think that maybe the Fujifilm could deter me from wanting to look at the rest of their products, but since Amazon's on them, they might have found them on a discount. Doesn't really weed them out as a bad seller or not. They could have been buying these profitably and the price is consistent, even though Amazon's sharing the listing. So if they were getting this for like $45, back in December during the Christmas sales, then, it could have been a great purchase for them. That's why they have a bunch of these in stock. But let's keep looking at a few more products. And if the trend continues where, they're only buying stuff on hyper sales and we can't find these products, we're just going to move on to the next storefront and then see what we can find from there. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit further. We have the Eaton brand, which is probably what's going to get shown next. These ranks are really solid. So this storefront is buying fast moving products, which is a good sign. So we're going to look at this product here. I don't really know these max costs. I don't understand, this brand. I haven't seen a ton of it before. So what we have to go off of is this price history here. So we can see it's very consistent, right? It's between, $125, $130 pretty consistently FBA price. And then the top 5 offers, they do have a lot in stock, which is maybe a little bit of a red flag here, but they're all consistently at the same price. And there's actually not a ton of them, at this consistent price. We might already be seeing, only a couple low competition at the price. So we could get the buy box share if we're finding this profitably. So This storefront has a ton in stock, so I'm not sure if this was a home run product for them or if they are buying this wholesale. Let's open the Amazon listing on this one just to do a little bit more analysis because I don't want to skip every product. Again, if you're unsure, it doesn't hurt to look into the data. We don't want to be skipping products that are worth looking at, but we also don't want to be wasting times. But we also don't want to be wasting time on products that aren't worth looking at. So again, we're going to look at the chart here. We can see that there is a buy box and it's pretty consistently right around that price. The offer count doesn't move a whole lot, but it's above 10, right? So it's not like a private label product. It's probably not a wholesale product. So that's a good sign for us. And we're actually just going to open Google quick to see if we can even find this. Again, we'll scroll down here to see. Sometimes these products are hard to find the direct matches because these listings are sometimes listed goofy. I don't know if this is the manufacturer number or if it's not, right? And we need to kind of do some digging to see if the specs match. Looks like that is the manufacturer part number. So if we wanted to, one thing you can do to help you narrow down some of these long title listings that don't make a ton of sense, you can put this in quotations, and this will actually help you. It'll include, that requires that the search, anything in the search, have this specific title in the search. Also, we can see that there's a lot of this, SellerAmp doesn't translate the quotations and stuff to Google very well. So we can actually just delete that. And then when we're looking at products, we can just make sure that they're actually the direct match here. So this might bring up a better search for us. Yep, right there you can see, even if we remove these, I bet you those quotations down below, the weird font and writing screwed up the listing. So again, maybe you want to have the quotations to help us narrow down our search here, but it looks like we're coming up with the exact product here. Ideally we're finding the match. Some of these, again, might be really expensive, and maybe we have to do some hard digging to actually find these products. But if we look at Eaton's website, this looks like it could be a match. So let's just open up some of these websites, especially if we're not super familiar with this, to see if we can get that direct match. So again, I just want to make sure that that part number is in there. So I'm actually going to include the quotations, and then we want to see what's our max cost here. We have $81 as a max cost. So this might be, something that needs to be purchased wholesale to get cheap enough because these websites are actually selling them pretty expensive. So it looks like Eaton maybe isn't selling this specifically on their website. You need to purchase this through somebody or through them. So that's an opportunity, but again, not something we're looking for here. This product has the right part number, but these products are just way too expensive. We're not even finding them for what you can purchase them on Amazon for. So again, not going to spend too much time on this product. Looks like we'd be wasting time looking at products that are, double or sometimes triple what we can actually purchase them for on Amazon. So again, waste of time there. If we see that trend with Eaton here, we're going to move off the storefront because we just don't know if the storefront is worth, has better products if this is all we're seeing here. So I think I'm just going to search Google. The chart looks okay. And there's 24 offers on this listing, but if we can't get this anywhere near $34, why look into it further? So we see, again, make sure the title matches, right? And it looks good. If this is our part number, then I'm going to put that in quotes just so we get the exact match here. So it looks like we have the match, and that's $67. This is basically what it's selling for on Amazon. So this might be a very similar thing where we're not going to get this cheap enough. Again, maybe this brand is really only worth purchasing through wholesale accounts. So maybe we'll just move off the brand. We'll look at like one more brand on this storefront, and then we can move on to see if we can find any other products. So let's take a look here. We see a lot of products with Amazon on them. These look like something you wouldn't find in a store, on a retail website. So this actually kind of tells me that this storefront maybe isn't worth looking at because it could be wholesale. It could be private label, even some. So we're going to move off this storefront. We'll go back to this listing here. And then we'll just keep looking here. So again, like I said, this storefront or this listing specifically might not be a great storefront to look at. So we want to go back to the original Amazon listing, the Amazon search, and we want to look for products that have more offers on them because chances are, if there's 15 offers on a listing compared to three has a lot more likely chance of, 3 wholesalers being on the listing versus 15 wholesalers being on a listing. So we're just going to keep moving on here. We want to find a few more sellers. So this one, again, this is that mint green camera that we found on the other storefront, but there are 7 sellers on that listing. So we can search that one if we wanted to. I'll keep going down a little bit further. just to see if we don't see anything. So this one has 10 on it. So that's a good starting point. The rank is decent. Amazon's on the listing, but again, maybe this is going to give us a little bit better of a search results to look at the storefront. So if we scroll down, we can see that, yeah, Amazon's definitely sharing the buy box, but are they sharing it with wholesalers? Are they sharing it with massive sellers? That's the question we need to look at. So we can just scroll down to the storefronts and see, are there just massive storefronts on this listing? This one looks like a decent one. Too high, decent. It's getting up there, but not horrible, too high. So it looks like there are some other storefronts that are selling this that could potentially be, online arbitrage. Maybe they found this on a deal. So we're just going to look at a couple of those storefronts. We're not going to look at the large ones, and hopefully we can find something profitable here. So not a ton of listings on their storefront here. So we might not be in a good space here. All right, that's all they had. So we will move on and look at a different storefront here. We'll look at that one that had about 200 reviews, 232. Hopefully that has a few more products in their storefront, and they're not all products that are, purchased through wholesale. That would be ideal. So we have a 3-pack of Fujifilm film. The buy box is 30. Looks fairly consistent. We see a little drop recently, but let's open the Amazon listing here. See if we can find the direct match, because this is something, these 3 packs, right, is definitely something that you could find in store and purchase 3 of. And that price, okay, it does look pretty consistent when looking at this view here. We have seen it at 32, but only being down to 30.95. It hasn't dropped a whole lot, and the rank is solid. Obviously, it peaked. The rank was as low as 300 right around Christmas time, but we're still at a decent rank, right around that 6,000 to 7,000 rank. Offer count is moving around, so potentially this could be found online arbitrage. So let's open up Google here, see if we can get this cheap enough. Again, this might have been a product that we only could find when it's on a hyper discount, or maybe it's a retail arbitrage find, right? So you can see this is the Amazon listing we're looking at here. We want to make sure we have the exact match. So 10 sheets, instant film. It's kind of that rainbow color of the packaging, which makes it easy to find. So here's 3-pack Mercari. Best Buy has it for $15.99. Again, that's what we need 3 of them for. Looks like that's 1. Target has it. Walmart's selling it for $17.96. That's a 2-pack, so we're getting a little closer. If we wanted to buy it in bulk here, I'm curious. Doesn't look like it's the same product, but again, we want to make sure that we have that rainbow color, because I think that's going to be the direct match here. So if we can't find that, this potentially was a retail arbitrage find, but this is the process that I go through when I'm looking at these types of products, when I'm looking for a starting point, right? Maybe we picked the bad product to start with. Maybe Instax isn't great, but look around the room. I mean, there's notebooks. I got my Stanley water bottle. I have, my keyboard. I have, cords. I mean, there's literally any brand you can think of that could be a good starting point. And maybe you don't find a ton of leads within that brand, but look at the storefronts and look at the other products that they're selling, because maybe they have some other brands that are really good and worth looking at compared to the brand that you started with, right? You don't have to get stuck on the brand that you start with, as long as you're finding storefronts that have other brands that are worth looking into. Although we didn't find any leads today, I definitely broke down the process of everything you need to know about how to reverse source quickly and how to get through storefronts, how to start with your first product. Hopefully I provided some good value for you guys. You found it helpful. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.